Attention, Chicago Bears fans! Your daily PSA that the Green Bay Packers suck. Welcome into Bears' latest Fan Art Sports. I'm Dan Levy here with you, and we're going to break down all things Chicago Bears. Look on over that list over there. Well, a full week of training camp is in the books. A lot of concerns, but maybe we took a positive turn. We'll talk about that. Caleb Williams, did he bounce back? I know that was a main concern for everybody nationally. We'll talk about that. Montez Sweat, doing what we've all needed him to do, especially with this new defense. He is all in, and I think the rest of the team is going to be doing that as well. And also a lot more final thoughts of what's going on with week one in the training camp in the books already, and other things that we'll be discussing. All things Chicago Bears right here. But we want to talk most of all about the reactions to week one. We came out hot. It came out awesome. Everybody was looking forward to heading to Hallis Hall. Everybody reported. Everybody had good comments to say. And then it got ugly fast for the offense. First and foremost, Ben Johnson ripped off the first tier out of the practice. They made them all sit down. Everybody got worried because there was a lot of pre-snap nonsense going on. Everything that Caleb Williams negatively was doing last season was spilling over into this one, and it made everybody concerned. Then, in the red zone, he threw a pick. Got everybody worried. But then the positive side was that the defense looked pretty good. Dennis Allen had those guys doing up downs or burpees for those that say it differently, and that is a way of initiating this defense. Apparently when people came back in or people that were injured and were able to get on the field other days into practice, he would make them do 40 up downs, 40 burpees as kind of a way of saying you need to pay into this. This is not a free thing. It's a privilege to be on the defense. You need to buy in. And that's been setting the tone for a lot of these guys on the defense. And we'll talk about that as well. But another thing we want to kind of hammer out is that the last day, it moved indoors, but the competition got a little tougher. Inclement weather forced the Bears to go indoors for day 4 of training camp, but it got hot and it got serious. One person that we're glad actually showed up. Finally, we put eyes on Colston Loveland, the tight end that we were all waiting for, and somebody that we were all kind of be like, who is this guy? What's he going to do? And some rumblings are now saying that he possibly could be battling for the number 1 tight end spot. So we went from we're not sure what this guy is to he is that good. He had 3 catches, including 2 during 7-on-7s, 1 from Caleb, and another during a full team 11-on-11 work. Loveland's fluidity, make that fluidity, readiness, calling his performance. Everybody saying he was smooth, he was impressive, and he looked like an NFL tight end. He looks like he belongs there, and that is a good one. Another one that I'm happy to see was Kyle Monangai, the rookie coming into this one. He's behind DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson. Those two were the ones that have the running back situation tied up. Both of those not looking great. Roschon Johnson, I'm not really sure if he's ever going to really amount to what it is that we want to see out of him. And DeAndre Swift, he's the guy that had a really rough season last season, and he's the one that we all put a question mark on, and what is this running backs room going to look like? Well, it looks like the actual battle's going to heat up between the 1 and 3 right now, because Kyle Monangai looks like he belongs there. The true test, again, is going to come on with the pads. We don't know what the running backs are going to look like until they're hitting people and they're actually going through. But for what it looks like, he's been a pleasant surprise. Everybody's saying that he's looking quicker and faster than expected, showing great feet, strong vision on the backfield. And again, the true test will come when the backfield or when the paddings come on, and we'll see what that is. Now, Caleb Williams. There's been some differences going on with Caleb. We really, really wanted to see some things happening with Caleb Williams this week, and it took all until Saturday for us to actually see it. Again, the first couple of days of training camp, misreads, bad pre-snap procedures, doing everything wrong, looking visibly upset, and having to go back to the huddle multiple times with Ben Johnson face-to-face, screaming at him, intense, and a lot of people are saying, oh my God, is he taking a step back? National media were saying maybe he's just a guy who does not know how to play football. But like I told you before, and I'll tell you again, RELAX. I don't like quoting Aaron Rodgers, but I feel it needs to be done because, again, This is just training camp. It's a brand new offense for this dude. This is offense number 3 in 3 seasons. USC, year 1 of the worst offense he could have been running to a new offensive system that is very, very difficult and very intense. And yes, it's training camp. Yes, he should be different than what he was in the mini camp and the OTAs. And there are some things that are going on. But give him time. Again, the talent is there. Just needs to get out of his head. So here are some thoughts of Ben Johnson from week 1.
Smart. Be smart with the football. Protect the football. We talk about avoid disaster. Things like that, unfortunately, happen occasionally. We want to minimize those. When we're inserting new protection schemes, those tend to happen. But the good news is when they do, our guys up front, they're learning from it. They're not allowing it to happen again. So what we want to see from Caleb is to not throw the ball away while we're in the pocket. We got to be smart with it. There are times we got to eat it and just go down.
Learnable.
And then part of his superpower is he's going to be able to break some of these tackles, even though we're calling him dead in practice with a sack. He's going to be able to escape.
That's
and
true.
make something
No
out
pads.
Of
no pads. That is true. A lot of the balls that they're calling dead and things that he's doing, he would get out of that. He's not getting sacked. He could be creative. He could do things again. They're just trying to teach him this new offense, and they're trying to get him out of every bad habit that he developed under Eberflus. That's going to take a little bit. They can't just turn that around and all of a sudden be where it is. But again, this is not something to worry about. Week 1 of a training camp is not a worry. Is it concerning? Hell yes. It's always concerning. We're Bears fans. We don't expect the bad. We're always waiting for the shoe to drop. What if that shoe doesn't drop? Ben Johnson does not seem to be overly concerned.
Yeah, we're not frustrated at all. We're right where we need to be. In fact, I told the unit last night to see where they came from the springtime to where we've been for 3 days. We're not having to coach alignment. We're not having to coach finish. We're not having to coach the standard, as you say. Now we're coaching football. Now we're reading coverage and we're able to accumulate reps. And like I alluded to before, the beautiful thing about it is our guys, man, they're learning. We're not making the same mistake twice.
There you go.
That goes for the guy that's getting the rep, and that goes for the guys that aren't getting the rep. They're learning from everything. So,
good point.
We're not frustrated whatsoever.
So he's not frustrated, and people are not learning the same. But then he kind of countered what he said before, but this is something that he was talking about as well with the pre-snap jitters. That's the one that kind of has him a little frustrated.
It's getting better. It's not where it needs to be, though. I made a big deal last night. The center quarterback exchange, we've had at least one each day, and that's that high school Harry stuff that we gotta get out of.
That's fair.
Like you said, the seizure stuff as well. That's stuff we can clean up. The pre-snap penalties, that's what we want to eliminate. So we're not there, but like you said, I do feel it going down slowly.
So again, what we're seeing out of Caleb Williams and what we're worried about and what the rest of the media is so knee-jerk reaction to, it's not the main concern of Ben Johnson. He knows it's a new offense. He knows they're shaking things up. They have very limited time to practice, all because of the collective bargaining agreement. So keep that in mind, everybody, that the reason why they're not doing these 2-a-days or longer practices, the collective bargaining agreement was had where pretty much the players aren't going to get any extra money. They're not going to get any extra, residuals from the overall product of football and all that kind of stuff. So what were the players able to control? How long they're able to stay out on the field? So if they got less time to do what they got to do, the owners don't care. And Ben Johnson is playing an uphill battle when it comes to that. He's taking on the worst part of it because he's got to get a quarterback that needs to shake off all the crap from last season. He's dealing with an offense that is brand new, and he's got to get these guys into it, and that's why he's giving these guys homework, and that's why he's yelling and screaming and being even more intense than his reputation was concerned. So, again, that's it. And here's his final thoughts on Caleb, which I thought was pretty poignant.
There really isn't a ton of carryover from what he was asked to do, the play calls or anything of that nature. I mean, he's always been very comfortable as a shotgun quarterback going back to college and even last year. He's very comfortable in a 2-minute setting. He's very comfortable with tempo-type plays. And so now we're asking him to be a little bit more structured in terms of the play calls. Sometimes there's multiple calls. There's shifts, there's motions. There's a lot more going on mentally than probably there's ever been for him. And so at some point, this thing will start slowing down. and he's going to be able to catch up, and his physical ability will take over from there. But right now, because mentally it is what it is, he's playing a little bit slower than what he's capable of.
So again, if you heard what Ben Johnson just said, he's getting there. It takes a minute. He's in his own head, but he's not where he should be, but he's getting there. There's no reason to overreact. Caleb Williams has everything he needs from an athletic ability, from his natural reactions, his ways to do shotguns, and his ways of reading plays. He just needs to take this new offense and needs to get out of his head. That can be learned. That can be taken care of. He's a professional athlete. He'll do what he's got to do. Again, it's just week one. There's no pads. We don't know what's going on. They are just learning this offense at a shotgun speed because, again, there's not a lot of time to carry over. So, again, if you're out there looking at Caleb and going like, oh, he's never going to get it. This is a typical Bears thing. It's not. This is nothing we've ever seen in a training camp in the last 40 years. It's a different team. It's a different system, and it's a whole new way to look at the Chicago Bears team, and it's just everybody catching up with it. So that's what we got with that one. We go from offense over to defense, and for what it sounds like and what it looks like, we have something even better on the defense. Something, again, the last couple of weeks, if you've been following this channel, which I hope you like, subscribe, comment, all the goodies, if you will, I've always said that the offense looked pretty good. The offensive line looks awesome. We got wide receiver rooms that are amazing. We got a really good tight end situation cooking up, and I'm still going with Caleb Williams. I'm still all in with him. But the defense was the one where I said I'm not really sure what's going on with that. We got Montez Sweat. We got Jalen Johnson, who's now injured and on the injured list for a little while, so we hope he gets better. But there's a lot of things going on that the Bears need, and from what it sounds like, Dennis Allen was the perfect prescription for this guy. He had a fever. We all had a fever, and we all needed a little more Dennis Allen. Because even DJ Moore said that everything about this defense is completely different. Always blitzing. It's just a different way to get it done, and they are chaos with organization to it. They've long needed a defense that pretty much replicated exactly what the Chicago Bears defense have always been, and that has just been dominant on the defensive side of the ball. It's even better that Montez Sweat is all in. The veteran edge rusher for the Bears with 5.5 sacks last season, often struggled to dominate up front, but it looks like right now he is taking a new approach. I guess they had a one-on-one meeting during the offseason, Ben Johnson and Montez Sweat, and said, you need to buy in, we need you in this, and he attended every minicamp, every OTA, and we are seeing a very different Montez Sweat coming into this offseason. And they've said it before, and they've said it even during these press conferences. When Montez Sweat turns it on, you can't stop him. When he turns on, whatever that click that he does, whatever makes him an elite defensive guy that he is, whatever that turns on in his head, oh my God, watch out. The edge rusher on that guy, what he needs to do, and he's buying into this, and you got a guy like Dennis Allen channeling exactly what we need out of Montez Sweat. That is what we need. And also, Deo Dangbo, the X Factor. That's right. Don't overlook this guy. They signed this guy to a 3-year, $48 million deal from the Colts. He's got all the traits that Dennis Allen loves. He can move around the line. Both he and Sweat could see reps at a defensive tackle to create a favorable matchups against guards. And even one veteran coach put it best, you'll see fronts you haven't seen in Chicago for a long time. So again, this is chaos with a purpose. Allen's coaching journey from former safety at Texas A&M, Sean Payton's assistant D-line coach in New Orleans, and him being an actual head coach in the league gives him such a unique vantage point that he understands coverage, trench play, and he knows how to blend them, and he's going to be a perfect balance for Ben Johnson, especially when Ben needs to kind of bounce ideas off of him and just be there as an overall helpful for him. So again, as we wrap up this episode, we want to make a couple things clear. Number one, the Green Bay Packers suck. We're just going to say that, everyone. I don't care. If you got a Packers friends and fans, point them over to this one. Have them debate me. Come on over. Green Bay, we'll take you all day long. Jordan loves steaks. He sucks. Overpaid. But the other thing is this. If you're just coming off of week one, relax. there's going to be a lot of adjustments. There's going to be a lot of growing pains. There's so much more of this off season and this training camp that we are going to see. There's so many more practices with pads, joint practices with other teams, and also preseason football action that we get to dissect. Let Caleb Williams have some patience. Have a little patience with him. Let everybody else develop. Let's see how these rookies pan out. Caleb will get the fixables, and I think we're going to have a really entertaining season this year. And one I'm hoping is one that we can definitely take last season and just forget about, because that's the thing. There's a very thin line with Bears fans. We're all drinking the Kool-Aid. We're all in, but we see 2, 3, 5 things that we did not like last season bubble up. We're going to overreact, Ben Johnson. We're going to overreact, Caleb Williams. It's up to you to make us feel that we don't have to feel that ever again. Will we do it? I don't know, but we're here for it. So once again, I'm Dan Levy. This is Bears Latest Fan Art Sports. Thanks again for jumping on and joining us. Let me know what your thoughts of Week 1, your reaction to it. Are you concerned? Are you pumped? Did they give you something to really chew on and make you excited about? I want to hear about it in the comments section. Feel free to like, subscribe, share with any Bears fans. This is right here. Any Bears fan, we're talking about it here. If you got passwords, if you live by the word Ditka, Hallis, Urlacher, Singletary, 85 Bears, Walter freaking Payton, you found the right channel. We're doing it again all season long, all into this preseason training camp and into the season. We'll be talking all things Bears. Once again, I'm Dan Levy. It's Bears Latest Fan Art Sports. We'll do it again next. Packers suck. See you later.